Hello, hello, hello out there. All right. Today is day 35 of the live stream. That's right. Been on here for 35 days now. I'm doing live and I am prepping for my class today. Now, I've thought about bringing an overhead camera here. My desk is on my office. Um, so let me see if I can tidy up a bit and uh, get this party started in here. I have the chat up, so please, if you're joining in, leave me a comment. Let me know you're here. And yeah, so I can see who comes on. So we are, um, well, we went out last night on a date, Freddie and and sometimes you just need to go out on a date with your husband. So we went to the movies and we saw Avatar. Now, this is an old Avatar shirt. I actually have a couple different Avatar shirts. I love the movie Avatar. Um, we we also love the Avatar ride at Animal Kingdom, and hence why I've got my Walt Disney jacket on too because it's not as cold today, so I didn't have to put on, 10 layers of clothes for my Florida blood. But anyway, we had a nice night. Um, went and watched the movie. Such a long movie, but w- was well worth it. One of the best things, we had the entire theater to ourselves. Yes, we were the only two people in the theater. So I guess that's a benefit of going to a movie that's already been out for a while. Maybe, I don't know. But we also went to the movie around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. So that makes a difference too. But really, we were the only ones there. It was kind of creepy and eerie, but also delightful because I was like, see, Bucko. Anyway, if you know, you know. Anyway, so I um I was pretty excited. We really wanted to make sure we saw the movie on the big screen because it's just a movie you need to see on a big screen, right? There's some movies that can I watch it at home? Yes. Do I need to see it on the big screen? Some movies you really just need to see it on the big screen. Now, we actually went to the theater kind of far away. It's not the farthest theater that had the movie playing, but we didn't want to watch it in 3D because I think 3 hours and 15 minutes watching a movie with 3D glasses on, it could probably trigger my vertigo. But yeah, so it was really good. We had a good time. And then afterwards, we went to Trader Joe's um, because where we were, there's a Trader Joe's. So we're supposed to get Trader Joe's here in West Palm Beach. Not sure when, but Um, but yeah, so today I'm prepping for my class. I have a class this afternoon, and I will have two additional students, and we need to, like, this is a class we're going to finish the project in because there's actually no classes next week. So, um, I need to have them finish this project today, and it's a big project. They learned last week they did color theory, mixing colors on a parrot, and they're gonna learn about tones and shades today, but also texture art. So, hence these paper towels. They're going to be doing a painting. They're gonna paint first. Plain. We're gonna be doing tones and shades of red because it's Valentine's Day and coming up. It's next week. Don't forget. And we're going to take and do small 4x4 canvases, and they're going to paint them red first thing, and then they're going to be mixing a paper towel recipe to make texture hearts on their canvases. Now, it's not going to be the same old. They're going to do it as an interactive group project. The plan is for them to work together and make all different shades and tones of red. And then they will be, after they paint their canvases red, real red, true red, then they will be going to each other's desk and around in a pattern to make different tones of red in a heart shape by using this special recipe, which is paper towels. So I'm going to cut the paper towels with a paper cutter, and maybe I should just let it roll. So if you like watching videos of repetitive action, kind of like it is, this is the video for you. You've come to the right place today. Let me see if I can get the overhead camera going. Have that ready. Move it up some. If you are new here, thanks so much for tuning in. If you are a repeat subscriber, thanks for subscribing. If you are new, consider subscribing. So that way, ring the bell, get notifications. We're on here every day talking about something art related or art life related. So consider subscribing to the channel. So let's get on with this. Let me get that overhead camera going. I have to reactivate it. For some reason, it always deactivates every time I turn the computer off. So let's see if I can get it to come on. There it is. And let's bring it over. See, here's the camera. Now I need to turn it on for you guys to see. I'm going to move my screen up here and shrink me down. Oh no. And you can see my hands here. So I'm going to adjust this to the paper cutter. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up a bunch of paper towels. This is just going to save me time later, and have them ready for the kiddos to use. Now, what you do with this, I did see this, and I cannot remember the person's socials that I saw it on, and I'm not sure if I saw it on which platform I saw it on, whether it was YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or somewhere. But I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a really fun project. I'm going to do it with the kiddos. So, whoever channel that was, thank you. I'm so sorry, I don't remember where I saw it. If I do see it, I'll link it later in this video if I find it. So, what I'm planning to do is to take these paper towels, and I'm going to cut this in half, or as roughly as possible. I'm not going to technically measure. If you have a paper cutter like this, and thank you to one of our supporters that donated this paper cutter to us here, you can cut everything with a paper cutter. Not everything. Everything that's paper related. I use this a lot. In fact, it's probably too thick. We're going to do it. All right, so we've got little strips of paper towel, and so in this project, they're going to use paint. We're using red paint, white, and black. They will be using, let me see if I can grab them. They will be using little cups like this. And they're going to take, these are all going to be soaked in water. I will pre-soak them and have them in like a Ziploc bag. And they're going to be able to get a cup. I might even cut this smaller. Of these in here, pre-soaked with water and glue. So we're using standard Elmer's glue and paint. So what they will end up doing is they're going to mix their colors first. Okay, I haven't got 100% of this planned out, but pretty much got it planned out. They're going to mix their colors so I can get my color lesson with them. And then we'll drop in the paper towels and the glue. We're going to mix it up and we're going to place the colored paper towels onto the canvases. Now, maybe I'll pop on here later today to show you guys the results of the class because I have not made this project. I've only seen it on the internet. So they actually used pretty long pieces, but we are going to be using very tiny canvases. So I didn't want to use super long pieces of paper towel. So I'm going to cut them like this. Maybe I should put them in like a bowl or something. I have a bowl. Hold on. Oh, perfect. Check it out. I have a red bowl, and the color today is going to be red. Yay, I love it when that happens. So we will be using this red bowl. Put all the pieces in somewhere up here on my desk. That's completely out of control. So I'm going to just cut these, throw them in, and this is the life of an art teacher. They have to do a lot of prep. You art teachers out there know, you're going to do a lot of prep to make this fun, magical art projects to happen. Get close to this microphone, sorry. So I'm just going to lay these out. Maybe I can just do a bunch of them at one time and just push them through. I feel like sometimes a paper cutter is like having being in the deli department of a grocery store. That you're like slicing meat. Uh, and let me tell you, those meat slicers that they have in deli departments, they are so sharp. I mean, this is sharp too, so no doubt I have actually cut a ridge into my thumbnail one time. Keep your fingers away from the blade, people. Uh, it didn't cut through the skin or anything, but it did cut my nail a little bit. Okay. So please be careful when using a paper cutter. It's like making confetti. These kids may use it as confetti. No, it will be soaking wet by the time they're using it. So hopefully this is also gonna save on the cleanup of the class because when little ones get to use scissors, it's like having 8 little Edward Scissorhands in a class chopping up paper and stuff. So sometimes it's just a little crazy. So I'm going to cut it all for them. It's going to save us time. The class is only an hour, so it's quite a big project to do in an hour for the time. I will have 2 students, actually two girls coming in to check out class. Um, so I'm being interviewed by two kids today to see if they want to be in my class, I guess. It's kind of funny. I think it's kind of cool. It's like, oh, do we want to be in her class? Yes, you do. My classes are so much fun, I have to say. I'm not just saying that because I'm talking about myself, but we have a lot of fun in my classes. So if you've ever been in my classes and you're watching this video, comment below. Do you have fun in my art classes? Um, yeah, we we have a lot of fun. And I teach in all different places. So not all places have class prep like this. Sometimes I'm teaching painting big campuses and we don't do all that tiny stuff like this. But some classes I have to prep a lot. So today's that day. The summer classes that I teach in the local parks bring art to parks with a contract with the Mandel Public Library in West Palm Beach. And that's always fun too because we're outside in nature and just having a good time and making art. And I usually have very nature oriented art projects or some fun stuff like that going on. Ooh, did I see? I put my finger under this bar and I was like, wait, slow down. Slow down, Nikki. This is live, so we don't want anything like that to happen. So yeah, don't put your hand here. Make sure it's back here when using these crazy paper cutters. I love this paper cutter. I actually have um, probably I have a mini like chopper paper cutter that I've had for well over 25 years, probably 24 years. And I have a board where you slice. I have two of those that you have a sliding blade. I also have self-healing mats to you do cutting out as well. And I had another chopper like this that I gifted to one of my interns. She has her own little vendor business, sewing business, actually. It's mostly sewing that she does. She uses the paper cutter a lot here. So I decided to gift it to her. Because I didn't really need two of these. They take up some space. So it was just sitting here in the studio. So Z, you're welcome. That's what we call her. Not because she's at the end of the alphabet. It's just one of the letters in her name. Not many people have a Z in their name. So we call her Z. And she makes stuff. She has a channel here on YouTube as well. So this is my process this morning. I do have a couple emails that I've already read. I just have to respond to them. I needed to come on live here with you guys. And see, I can actually talk real fast. I'm like a Ginzu steak knife. Let's close it before I turn my arm. Yeah. So we're gonna need a lot. I'm probably going to fill up this entire bowl of this paper towel confetti. So get some more. These paper towels are like half paper towels. I love that now you can get these half paper towels. You can actually get them quarter paper towels too. I've seen them where they have a perforation in the middle here. And I mean, sometimes you don't need an entire paper towel. Um, we try not to use paper towels too much. We use like a dish towel, tea towels, and such, just to save a little bit of paper in the environment. But this project is about paper towels, and um, we're gonna use probably close to half a roll of paper towels for this. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking and pulling them off. Then I'm going to cut them in half. And then I'm going to cut them in strips. And then I'm going to cut them into confetti. So there's a lot of cutting going on for this project. And definitely this takes so much time to do this. And that's why I'm prepping for my class. Should I have prepped yesterday for this class? Yes. But, like I said before, we were out yesterday. All right, that's almost half a roll I already have pulled off. I have a bunch of this little grass stuff all over my desk. I should have cleaned it off, but I guess if it gets in the mix, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Um, so I can't cut this much at a time, so I'm just gonna separate them into like 5 sheets or so. Put them over here, alternating them. So, do any of you guys out there love to make little crafty art projects? And to let me know. And maybe I should just film live on one of these. How long are these? These are 11. So 5.5. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them in half. I'm going to do the strips. I just get everything in strips first. Have a busy weekend planned. My client, I need to do some more QuickBooks for her because the month of January is over. I'm going to do her January bookkeeping. I have an event this weekend. And lots of stuff. And then I've got to go through my emails because I do have a couple contracts that are pending right now that I need to set the dates for. So actually, you can cut these pretty quick. I mean, it just makes sense to cut them all out. That there. So anyway, this is life of an art teacher and an artist. So it's a lot to prep. A couple of my friends also are art teachers like this too. And they're always like, oh, the prep. I'm like, I know. So you have to plan for easy projects, but sometimes you have to give them a little bit of a different project that has more. And also, when you're an art teacher, you also have to take in consideration what's the budget um, that you're given, or what budget do you have to do art classes. So I'm gonna do the math again. I was doing the math, how many kids um I will have for this one contract in total. Like the whole total contract is 9 weeks times 3 classes a week times 60 kids. I will have to prepare to teach for this 9 week course. In total preparation is 1,620 kids. So sometimes it's the same kids every week, but they still count as a count every week. So 1,620. That's a lot. When you take in consideration that it's like, okay, yeah. And that's just one of my contracts for 9 weeks. So every contract's different. This is a big contract. So when you do, um, and you're in the art teaching business, or um, planning projects or events, really consider the budget, because 1,620 kids is a lot when you think of it that way. That's a lot of paper towels if I had to do for, for nearly 1,700 kiddos. And that's probably a true number. It is a very popular program. I will be teaching that contract will be during spring break in a summer. I have to line that up. I might do this project that we're doing right now for the spring break. The spring break class. Just because it's spring, and I thought, well, we could do the same thing. Like this one's going to be in the shape of a heart. We'll do in the shape of flowers during spring break. So this is a lot of paper towels. But this is actually a product that's inexpensive. It's not super expensive to grab a roll of paper towels and to make this happen. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm just lining them up right now so I can do multiples to make the confetti part. Anyway, so when you are an art teacher or you're planning these events, think about that budget, because you have projects, especially contracting projects, you need to make sure your budget's in line with what you can actually provide. And usually, in a lot of cases, budgets are reimbursed expenses too. So you have to make sure that you have the supplies in place and the funds in place to pre-order everything, unless you, in this case, I don't get a deposit for this class, but for like art parties and stuff, I require a 50% deposit so I can buy the supplies. This is a contract with the city, so it's not a payment kind of thing. I get paid after the the actual activity happens. So I have to put all the cost and expense up front. So, and then I get reimbursed. Not, well, I have a budget, so I don't have, um, like a specific, oh yeah, I only spent this. I only get so much money to spend. So, um, I'll probably spend more than that because the budget they're providing is kind of low. So I will just put that, it is what it is. Some projects are more expensive than others as well. So when you are planning, hello, if you're joining in, let me know you're here. Um, some projects aren't as expensive as other projects. So that's the way you can work with your budget for the best value for you as an artist, as you an educator, an art teacher, or planning an event and such. So just plan accordingly for the budget that they give you. That's for sure. Sometimes these budgets, you know, are very little. I think that the summer class, the budget ends up being like less than $1 a kid per class. So it's not very much, but I will make it happen. I will take a magic wand and spin it around a couple times to get the right projects in play. And it's, you know, this summer class I usually do a tiny door, like the last one of the summer. They actually make tiny doors. Um, I don't know if I can do that this year. Because that project cost my cost on that is it varies. It can be anywhere between, if it's a basic tiny door project, it could be as little as $5 a kid. Um, as far as my cost, and I'm not shy about telling people the cost of my things because I keep my prices relatively low for classes. I just want people to have fun and make art and just have fun. So, oops, I'm throwing confetti at myself. So anyway, if you are enjoying this video, make sure you hit like. Um, so it's kind of like today's art business class. And I've been doing art teaching, art for a long time. On top of I used to have a regular job as people say, don't you have a regular job? No, not anymore. I mean, this is a job. Cutting paper towels is my job today. Um, it just, it changes from day to day because I am just a full-time artist and art teacher. So, um, yeah, this is a lot of paper towels. I just like what I'm doing right now is I'm lining them all up. So when I push them through here, it's just going to be easier. Span my hand as much as my hand will go. But you can't go too thick or the blade won't cut through. There's some right thick there. it'll do it. This is probably one of the best. We'll take that part out. Let's do this. This is one of the best paper cutters I've ever had. They don't have to be like restaurant quality cuts here. I don't think that I'm going to be checked on the precision of my knifing blade action here. They just have to be smaller than a full size one. I do plan to let them put this on the canvases with tweezers just to save the mess. And this we are going to be using acrylic paint. So I just sometimes I don't like to use acrylic paint with the kids, but we were using it today. It just goes better on the canvas. The tempera paints don't really stick as well to canvas. They do great on paper and such, but not so much on canvas. Wow, this fills up this bowl pretty good. There's a whole bunch already. So this is my world today. And when I started doing this live broadcasting every day, I was like, what am I going to put up? So basically, if you are new here, I put up whatever's happening in the morning or whenever I'm live. It's not too scripted out, my videos. So I will start doing some regular tutorial upload videos. That's in the near future. It's probably going to be launched in March. I will have some tutorial videos. Hence, maybe this will become a tutorial video on how to actually make the whole project. I'll not put my hand in there. I know some of you are probably cringing watching me do this. Don't worry. I'm a professional paper cutter. Sort of. And I'm not measuring, so it makes it a lot easier to just like cut it. No measurements in this. When I make stickers and stuff, I have to measure a lot. I use this cutter for a lot of things. I'm having a good shoulder workout. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great Thursday. Chop, chop, chop. And I'm probably going to go soon and get the rest of this done. And yeah, maybe it's too thick. We'll try it. Works. Get under the bar. Some of it's a little bit too thick. That's okay. right. So tomorrow's live video will be, obviously it's Friday tomorrow, and we will be on in the evening tomorrow live. Um, and I'll be working. Did y'all hear my husband just sneeze like a crazy person up there? He just sneezed like crazy. Um, but yeah, tomorrow we will be live in the evening. It will be after 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I hope you guys join me. I will be making art tomorrow live because I need to make a couple of things um, for an event that we have this weekend. So join me tomorrow and see how my class goes. And I will show you guys this finished project that I'm making with the kids um, tomorrow. Tomorrow. So let me move this around a little bit. So anyway, I want to say thank you so much for you guys joining us today. And if you are new here, please consider possibly subscribing to our channel right down here. Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and we will be back live tomorrow. So once again, have a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good evening, or a good night, whatever time you're watching this. And we will see you tomorrow, right here live on Art O'Clock with Nikki at Tiny Doors WPD. Live art stream every day, every day, every day. What was that? 35 days now. Okay. Bye bye. Bye bye.